Hello and welcome to another live stream. My name is Shane Olson. I'm down here in the corner. Okay, I guess my camera was off there for a second. Hello and welcome. Um, Sorry I missed the last couple of weeks, but I'm back. I've just been busy with freelance and whatnot. So, yeah, thanks for being patient. And I am back. So today we're going to be modeling this knight from The Reluctant Dragon from an old Disney cartoon. I really like this design. This was actually made. It's like a here. Let me find it. There's a whole bunch of versions of him like in the bathtub, but it's basically this guy right here. This one is simplified quite a bit, just for animation reasons. But I like the design from the character design. This one better. So, hey, Seer, how you doing? Welcome, welcome from Cameroon. That's fun to say. Anyway, welcome. I wanted to also show you the actual, hopefully I don't get pinged for this, because Disney likes to flag stuff. But this, I just wanted to show, he's got some really fun expressions. And then there's this, the construction shape of his head right here, which is nice. So, anyway, yeah, that's what we're going to be modeling today. So I'm super happy about it. From the Banana Republic. Wow, you guys are here from everywhere. How's it going? What's up, Bradley? Alrighty, so let's get going with that. I'm going to start out with that construction shape. So I'm going to do move infinite, so we're moving all the way through the object. I'm going to turn it to the side, actually, and then pull it on down to be that drip shape. It's like an upside down drip. And then we'll move these in from the side too. So how is everybody doing today? Welcome again. If you're brand new, my name's Shane Olson. I worked for Disney for a while. Disney Interactive, their game development. Oh, hey Matt, how are you? Dragging myself away from my screen's been online too long. Have a good screen. All right. Well, thank you, sir. Okay. I'm going to take a look at this. See how these polygons are stretching? What I like to do is go ahead and apply this dynamic subdivisions. And then I click on same and then just ZRemesh it really quick. And it will redistribute the polys so it's nice and clean. Yeah, that's not bad. Hey, from Spain. Hello. Welcome, welcome. How do you set the brush strength? Yeah, the smooth brush, that's what was strong. So how you turn it down is you hold down shift to activate smooth, and then you grab the Z intensity and turn it down. Yeah, because normally it's showing the Z intensity for whatever brush you have active. Okay. So now his neck gets really, really small. So I'm going to continue to make it even smaller because it's just funny. I love funny. And then we're going to kind of come around the back here. I really wanted to sculpt this guy because he's so dang funny. Like all these folds in his lower eyelid and then the folds in his neck are just hilarious. And then whatever this hat's doing, the whole thing just makes me laugh. So, okay. Let's pull this out a little bit more. I kind of want that come forward. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get the eyes and stuff going already. This might be a fast sculpt. I don't know if it'll last me the whole 2 hours, but we'll see. Okay. This nose is really a funny shape too. And these nostrils are like these curved snakes. And let me know if you have any questions as I'm sculpting here. For these nostrils, I'm just going to pull out 2 spheres like this. Let's turn off dynamic. Hey, Sammy, how are you? I was just thinking about you the other day. Not in a creepy way, but I consult with a company in Turkey, a mobile company. They're called Peak. They make a Toon Blast. And every once in a while, like once a month, I get together with them and just kind of go over talk to them about their characters and stuff like that. But they were saying that Discord is banned in Turkey as well as Russia. So, yeah, it's got me thinking that's even more of a reason to think about an alternative to Discord. So I was wondering if you could do me a favor, Sammy. Could you go to school.com with a K, like SKOOL, and see if you can see that in Russia there? If you can access that, that'd be great. I do have a Discord server. It's private. It's a private community for my students. It's not a public Discord. Thanks, Sammy. I appreciate it. I'm really curious to see. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe starting it's called a school. It's like a community, like a paid community. Instead of selling courses, I would sell a community with courses inside. I don't know yet. I'm just looking into it. Look at this guy. His eyes popping out. That's funny. Okay. But his forehead sweeps back way quicker than that, so I'll have to figure that out. Let's see, split unmasked points. There we go. Turn on dynamic subdivision. I'm gonna go ahead and grab like a skin tone. Maybe like, that's too yellow. Way too yellow. Maybe lighter. That's better. You can, it's a small window that says it's in alpha version. Are you looking at the mobile app, or are you looking at it on in a browser? Like, that's interesting. Yeah, it should. Let me see. Yeah, I don't want to show mine. It should look something like this. This is the community, but this is a community up here. So I don't know where it takes you. I guess if you're logged out, I should log out and see. Yeah, I think it might ask you to start like a new thing. Whoa, it's so bright. Okay. Maybe wrong link. Okay, yeah, it's skool.com. Maybe here. You can? Okay, sweet. Awesome, awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's a possibility in the future. Can you guys hear my fan once in a while? I should probably turn it off. Excuse me. Like when I talk, can you hear my fan? Even his eyebrows have wrinkles. That's so... I don't know why it's so funny. I'm going to smooth this out a little bit. His eyes are very unique. They're kind of on the surface, just sitting there. He's got eyelashes. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a community, and I might call it Sculpt School. Sculpt with a K. I've been messing around with it a little bit. Thanks for checking though, Sammy. I appreciate it. Oh, I need to grab that color. There we go. So what is everybody working on today? What's going on? What's new? I like to hear from you. Yeah, it'd be just kind of a, I don't know. I'm thinking about it because it would be nice to just have a place for everybody to hang out and continue from my YouTube, my live YouTubes, you know, like kind of like a Discord, but Discord, it doesn't allow you to have courses in there, and it doesn't allow you to record like live streams. So with school, they're adding live streaming very soon inside of the community. So it'd be fun to just kind of go live once in a while in there and do some teaching, like maybe once every 2 weeks or something, you know. And it'd also be fun to get some other sculptors, like other pros in there. Like my friend Letitia. Okay, this is starting to stretch out. So again, what I like to do is apply the dynamic subdivision so it's nice and smooth, and then do another Z-remesher. We're going to do keep groups, and I want to turn smoothing groups down quite a ways and hit Z-remesher with same selected, and it should give us a decent result. And that just keeps our base mesh clean. That's too high, and it's making a weird thing right here. So let's do, oh, you know why? It's because it's subdivided and I added it. That's why. So I'm going to do half and do it. It'll probably be too heavy, but we'll do half again. Yeah, I'm going to Z-remesh it again. Keep going half. Every time you do it, when it gets lower and lower, it gets faster every time. There we go. Maybe this is better. Okay. And then we can turn on dynamic subdivisions, and now we're back in action. Okay, so let's start to add these some of these features. I'm going to grab this eye, duplicate it, and then cut it like with the knife brush, knife cut. We can just kind of slice it like this. Can't really see what it did, but it's in there. And then I'm going to scale it up slightly so you can see it even better. But that's his upper eyelid. And kind of what I want to do with this, I either want to make it red or like a bluish color, maybe purple. But when you use the knife brush, it actually adds some triangles in here. So again, I can Z-remesh this. I'm going to add one subdivision level. Well, no, I'm not. Because that does too much. Whoops. I went too far. I want to turn off dynamic. I'm just going to keep it like this. Use same. Keep groups. Turn smoothing way down. Let's turn it to 0 and see what we get. Yeah, there we go. See how that cleaned up those edges nice? That's what I want. Okay. So now I can turn on dynamic subdivisions and scale it up a little bit, and it's going to keep that nice edge instead of having it all kind of weird and pinchy. Weird and pinchy. Okay. I'm going to actually grab this color and fill it, and then grab this and fill it, and then I want to just tint this like, I kind of want to try blue. Let's see what they do for the actual character in the animation. Oh, it looks like they just do it slightly darker. Let me show you what it looks like. Open image in new tab. Okay, so this guy, see how his eyelids are they're the same color as the skin. Kind of like, look at these weird fingers and this collar. It's like a flower. So funny. Okay. But I think I want to add some color to it. So let's go, let's select this. And we'll go a little darker, less saturated. So there you go. I could leave it here, which isn't bad. But I wanted to add some blue to it. So, or maybe some like indigo purple, like in here. And then I'm going to grab the soft paint brush and then just kind of lightly fill it. I'm going to turn my RGB intensity up a little bit. There we go. See, that's more interesting to me. Just a hint of blue. Okay, let's bring this down, shape it a little better. I love how he's like not interested. There's one expression that just makes me laugh. He's like sticking his teeth out. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. So look at look at this one with the teeth. It's like he's saying Hoffenpfeffer or something like that. Oh, it's so funny. Okay. So let's get his lower lids in there. Welcome everybody. We're starting to get a good turnout today. I thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Right, isn't that hilarious, Bradley? Makes me laugh. So I'm going to bring this way up and just kind of expose his eye like this. And then he should start to come to life. I want to do a couple of eye bags. His bags are packed. Hey, Gabriel. It's nice to see you work. It's really clean. Congrats. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yep. I love to keep my stuff as clean as possible. So yes, it takes me a little longer than other sculptors you might see that are speed sculpting. I'm not really speed sculpting. I'm just sculpting. I like to pay very close attention to all of my shapes and the relationships and all that stuff. And keep it clean, because if I keep it clean up front, it'll stay clean throughout the sculpt. That's the idea. This reminds me of an old Frankenstein model I did a long time ago. And he's got some pretty crazy eye bags and stuff too. I like to keep my shapes separate too, because it gives me a good, well, it's easy to control. That's one thing. And it just makes it so there's a nice separation between the objects like this. See this really hard line? It's just nice. Stop for a quick drink. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Let's see. I'm going to do auto groups and then a mirror and weld, which will make everything symmetrical. And then that allows me to select this piece and duplicate it again. So I'm going to do one more, make it really small underneath here. See this little piece underneath here? There we go. Oh, it's like eye bag rolls. So funny. Okay. Now, usually when it comes to eyes, I have a couple options. What I typically do is just paint right on the surface, because it just allows me to paint over and over and just try different sizes and different things. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, I think. Grab this, but I apply the dynamic subdivisions so they become real subdivisions, and then hit Control D a couple times. You can see the current active points. I like to take it to upwards of around like 1 million. It's currently 3 million, so then I can I have enough vertices in here that I can paint his eye now. But I'm gonna look again at the cartoon. They're just black. It's just a black pupil, so not too interesting. Let me move my microphone a little closer. You guys hear me okay? Sometimes I can be a little quiet. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this color actually, and then go like, I don't like to go 100% black. I like to go maybe somewhere in here, like a dark brown. And then what I can do is turn on transparency, and it lets me draw right through the objects above it. So then I can see my little red brush. I can look at that and just kind of gauge where that's going to be and just pop it in there like that. And then if I turn transparency back on, there you go. So funny. This guy's just making me laugh. Okay, so I want to go ahead and add some of these eyelashes in there. I think this one I'm going to do a little, well, let's see. I think I can just use this eyelid to generate the eyelashes from. So I'm going to duplicate that and solo it. And then, yeah, like you're just done. That feeling. Okay, so I'm going to hide that loop, and then let's turn on double so you can actually see. I isolated that loop. Let me tell you guys how to do this. Yeah, how he looks. Okay, if you have this select lasso brush selected, if you hold down Control plus Shift and hover over one of these edges like this, and you tap on it, it will hide that entire ring of polygons. And then if you hold down Control plus Shift and just drag on the background somewhere, it will invert selection. So it'll show you what was hidden. And then you can go to delete hidden. This menu does not come standard with ZBrush. I wish something like this did, but it doesn't. You can make your own. And I'm using a custom interface. This is my interface, but I do give it away for free. And the link is in the description down below. I give all these brushes for free. And then it comes with this user interface and this menu. So if you want it, I've been using it for over 10 years and refined it and honed it. So yeah, feel free to grab it if you want. Okay, so you can kind of see how this is going to be his eyelashes. And I want to go in a little bit here, and I'll just hide this bit right there. And then I'll hide this one, and then I'll hide the rest. So then it's just this strap of polys, and I'll just do a delete hidden. And then what I can do is turn on dynamic subdivisions. Let's crease them first. So I'm going to say crease. And what that does is it puts a crease around the outer edge of this whole thing. And then, excuse me, I can turn on dynamic subdivisions, and it kind of smooths it out a little bit. But then I can add thickness. So I have my dynamic subdivisions up here on my interface, and I can just add a bit of thickness to it. You can see it's starting to get thicker right here, but I want it softer. I don't want this really super hard edge. So I can turn off this post subdiv, and it will soften it. Actually, let me uncrease it and see what that looks like. There we go. Yeah, I want it soft like that. So so it kind of just looks like a tube. Man, gotta clear my throat, sorry. And then I'm just gonna kind of drag it down like this. And then it's a little too thick, so I'm gonna run my smooth across here and just make it smaller, especially down at this end. And then I can color it that dark brown if it's not already colored that. So fill, there we go, turn off transparency, and there we go. So it's really good to anchor your eyes with eyelashes or an outline around your eyes. I might put an outline down below, down here as well, just to kind of anchor it in there. Okay, I'm going to save this. So I'm just going to call it Disney Night. Okay. All right, I think we can add the brows in there. Yeah, the dude's just not impressed. He's just like, just don't talk to me. I've had a long day. Oh, funny. Okay. I'm just gonna drag some spheres. I have all these primitive objects across the top that I like to do insert multi-mesh with, but at the end of the day, I just insert spheres over and over and over again because they're just organic shapes. So I just like to kind of morph them into position. A lot of people get hung up on what shape should I use, and you know, and for me, I'm just like, I just kind of Armstrong it, I guess. I belong to this Facebook group called Just Sculpt the Damn Thing. Half the time, that's exactly how I feel. Okay, split. I'm going to split this. Unmask points, arrow down. Okay, let's get it sitting on his head better. And I recommend listening to music while you sculpt. I'm listening, you guys can't hear it, but I have Spotify going on in the background. And I like this new band. It's like I was into like new wave and stuff in the 80s, and it's this new kind of genre of music called synth pop, I guess. Anyway, it's not quite as good as the music from the 80s that I used to listen to, but it's like it has the same flavor. And there's a couple bands I really like that do synth pop. One of them's called The Midnight, so you can check that out. And another one is Gunship. Both of those I really like a lot. Okay, so this is pretty heavy and it's kind of getting stretched. So again, I'm just going to do same. Well, I'll try half. And just see what it kind of gives me. There we go. That's good. Cleans it up. Keeps it clean. Okay, so now that we have these brows, I kind of want them to pop off the surface a little more like this, but just a little taller. So I'm going to grab this mask lasso and just kind of come in like this. I know that was a weird selection, but that way I can just grab my move brush. I only want to pull the top up and leave the bottom alone. I can do it like this. And then smooth it out, just the part that feels a little better. Okay. And then I'm going to add his mustache in there just to get it there. You guys are awfully quiet today. There's like 50 people watching. And again, welcome. How's it going? Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to grab this appendage brush, which is essentially just an elongated sphere that's tapered. And then I'm going to just kind of grab well, let's just grab this white from the eyes. This should really help his personality. He looks like a walrus. Okay. And I want to give him a mouth, and I really want to give him those teeth, those buck teeth. Thanks, Abe. I appreciate it. But if you guys have questions or you want to talk about stuff, just, yeah, say hello, hello. Sriracha Banana Pan. I love that name. Okay, so I'm going to take this mustachio and just kind of tuck it up underneath his nose. Turn on topological. I drew it. Okay. This is a little tip for you. Whatever object you have selected and you use the insert multi-mesh brush, it's going to add it to that selection or that object. So when I drew out his mustache, I had the eyebrows. That's the last thing I touched. So it added it to that subtool, just so you know. Can you please tell what's the pipeline of making characters like Disney for movies? It's basically like this. This is how you start. Hey Adelia, how you doing? Welcome. But in the end, basically you want to have all quads so you can subdivide it. So you would have to retopologize this to make it animation friendly. And you just want to have the topology look nice and clean and be able to be subdivided. And typically the surface stuff is either bump maps or displacement maps. And in games, it's done with normal maps. So that's the difference there. And in games, you can typically have triangles. And in movies, you just want quads. Quads are just the squares instead of triangles. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that, but that's essentially... and then in movies, you have materials and shaders. And in games, you typically have textures. So that's kind of the difference there. But I'm moving more towards 3D printing and collectibles and stuff like that. And I'm moving away from doing game and film characters. I've never worked in film myself. Okay, I'm actually going to add... would ZRemesher do? No, it will not. ZRemesher gives you a good sculpting topology, but if you want actual professional animation models, you need to do the retopology by hand. Unfortunately, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you my latest. If you want to see my latest 3D print, I just barely made another course. Hold on one second. Here, let me pull this over here. I think it's this one. So I just made Lion-O, just a fan art of Lion-O. Let's see, let's hide my ruler so you can see it. This is this is all ready to go for 3D printing. So let me pull up the render so you can see what the render looks like. Here we go. Yeah, so this is the final version of Lion-O. I just barely recorded how to make Lion-O from start to finish and how to do the keys and everything and get it ready for 3D printing. But yeah, I did this whole thing. And then let's see if you I have the well, I'll just show you. If you do like a merge visible, like this, merge visible, it'll take all these pieces and put them in one Z tool, like this. And then I can turn on the wireframe, but turn off the lines. And now you can see all the pieces. So if I move these away, you can see how they're keyed in here. See that? And I show you how to do this in the course itself. This is a new key brush that I just made. I just noticed this little lip right here that I gotta fix. I'm glad I noticed that. Anyway, you can see how all these pieces kind of fit together. I use live boolean for this stuff, and yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, and this, oh, here's a tip for you. So if you take the move brush and you turn the draw size all the way down to just 1, and then you turn topological masking on, you can click and drag and move objects without using the gizmo. Like this. So it's really easy to move all these pieces apart. And I have the eye, I want to print this out in like a transparent, like a glass, like a transparent resin. So like swallowed star, I don't know what that means. What do you think about the new Chinese 3D? I don't think I've seen it. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it. Okay. Anyway, there you go. Back to Mustachio Man. All right. Well, thanks. Yeah, thanks for the compliments. I appreciate it. Okay. So let's turn the lines back on. And then I want to go into here and do a bend curve. And then I'm going to bend this mustache a little bit like this. I saw some behind the scenes they use humans to film and put it in 3D. Oh, interesting. Not twist. I want to scale this down. Okay. That's funny. Okay. I like this. So if you, I'm done with it, I'm just going to hit accept. And then I can go back to kind of smoothing it out and remeshing it. His mustache. How can I still follow along if I use Blender? You can, yeah. Yeah, it's the sculpting tools aren't quite as they don't feel quite as good as ZBrush, but you can definitely follow along. I have several students in my course that use Blender. But hey, if that's all you got, then that's all you got, you know? But yes. Okay, so let's give him his little hat. Let's see, we got, what time we got? All right. But yeah, just so you know, you are watching the official Maxon YouTube channel, so I tend to keep the discussion on Maxon products. I don't work for Maxon. I'm just a volunteer here. But yeah, just to be respectful, I guess. And so of course I'm going to be a little biased, but okay, let's do split unmask points. And then I'm going to solo this. And then what you can do is see how this whole thing, hey, what's up, Ian? How this whole thing is in the same poly group. It's just blue. You can do a group by normals. And what that does is anything past a 45-degree angle, it's going to put in its own new poly group. And then I can grab this bottom piece with the Z modeler brush. I'm hovering over this face and see how it says extrude a poly, but I want it to say extrude poly group all. So that's my function and that's my target. So I'm going to extrude this whole thing down like this. and then I can scale it in. So I can grab the gizmo, hold down Control, and tap on the center, and you can see it makes a mask like this. And then I'm actually going to turn off symmetry so I can center this right in the middle, turn symmetry back on, and just kind of go like this. But I want it tapered. See how it kind of comes in and turns? So I'm going to insert one edge loop right in the middle here. And then I'm going to hover over an edge, hit spacebar, and then click on Transpose Edge Loop Partial or Complete, either one. And then if I click on it again, it masks everything off except for that one ring. And then I can center the gizmo in that masked area and then scale it in. And that'll give me that kind of tapered round shape. I can pull it up just a little bit. There we go. That's funny. Okay, so I use mask lasso. Well, actually, I'm going to turn this hat to fit him a little better. I'm going to scale this down and then I'll scale the rest back up. It's a little too small. Let's mask this portion off. Let's see here. That's pretty funny. And then go to this side and scale that up quite a bit. There, that's quite the hat, huh? Okay. And I think it's blue. Let me go check my sources. It's kind of a black or navy blue. I'm not sure. Let's open this in the new window. Yeah, this is. It's black in the actual cell shade version, but I think I'm gonna make it like a dark navy blue. So let's go here, and maybe like a desaturated blue somewhere in there. There we go. And this guy's funny. Okay. Yeah, it's like his bags are packed. He's ready to go. I think I'm going to make those bags just a little bit thinner. Like narrower this way. A little fur, like even more droopy than that. Oh gosh. Okay. That's too funny. Okay, I'm going to put I'll block his hair in, and then the last bit is going to be adding all these folds in his chin and stuff. And he's, like I said, he's even got an eyebrow fold, which is hilarious. Okay. Then merge all these pieces together, and I'm going to give him a mouth with a bottom lip and some teeth and stuff too, because it's funny. But I want to get this hair in because he feels, my version feels a little taller than the concept. So I want to make sure he's got the front to back volume going on there. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn him around. And then again, ye trusty old sphere just to block out some shapes. Let's grab this white color. All the chins. He's like got triple chin. Ooh, funny. Okay, so now I'm going to use this move infinite and just kind of get it into place. I'm looking more for flow at this moment. Let's split it off. And then later on, I will, let's turn this intensity down. Later on, I'll do individual hairs, but right now I'm just looking to block it out. It's kind of like a duck bill back here. Thanks, Hatim. I have done this for, yeah, it's a blockout method that I've done forever. I can remember the day that I tried it the first time. And now it's funny to see because now a lot of people have adopted using primitive shapes to block out. Come on. And now people are selling blockouts, you know, like my student George Zaki. Hey, Carlos. That's been a while. How are you? Carlos is another one of my students. How have you been? I haven't seen you around. George Zaki got me into it. Nice. Yep. George is yeah, he took the idea and ran with it for sure. When I first, so what made me kind of think about blocking out with primitives is I have these books by Preston Blair. He's like an old he's a Disney animator, but he's also like, he animated on Tom and Jerry and stuff. And to stay on model in his drawings, he would draw primitive objects. Thanks, Carlos. I appreciate it. Yeah, the link's in the description. I have a course called the 3D Character Workshop. I also have a mentorship. And I'm thinking about possibly doing a community, like a subscription community, maybe. I'm just toying with that idea. Because in this economy, courses can be expensive. So I'm trying to think of something, a way to make things more affordable. I know people are reluctant with subscriptions, but I think I'm going to raise this whole thing up much higher. Like this. Oh, thanks, Carlos. Yes, I'm doing well. Thank you. Yeah. Well, it's cheaper than going to an art school. That's for sure. Okay, so now that I have this, I'm going to apply the subdivisions and then just do a Z remesher. Let's turn this off. Do like a 1000 polygons. Keep groups. Okay. That works. Maybe half it. That's better. Have you been sculpting, Carlos? I know you kind of, you take breaks and come back to it and take breaks. Yeah, you don't have to take all your generals, right? You don't have to learn all your high school classes all over again. Just one focused thing. Okay. Okay. I'm happy with where this is headed, but now I think I want to start to put in some like cut in these details, these fun details, and start to kind of shape this up a little bit. Taking breaks and coming back. This is the way. Yep. You gotta breathe once in a while. I feel like his nose is a little too low. Not really. I started some new characters, but eventually I'll jump into it again. Nice. He looks funny without a nose. Maybe like this. Yeah, that looks like him. And then we'll bring his mustache up to meet it. There we go. Oh my gosh, he looks so funny. Okay, let's, I think I want to inflate those nostrils a little bit more. Oops. Yeah, Ian, I was looking into School again, like SKOOL. They're adding live streaming inside of there. And I just learned that Discord is banned in both Russia and Turkey, and I'm sure other countries. So it's kind of pushing me to look into other options, I guess. Okay. Let's do a save as, make sure we got this saved in case we crash. Crashing's never good. Okay, this is the fun part. This is what I really like to do. How many are you choosing between now? Well, I'll talk to you about it later, but you know, there's that other one. I was looking at that Course Creator 360 one that's kind of like School, but yeah, it's good, it's really good, but it's got some things I'm questioning, and you can't go live in there. Are you applying Dynamesh or Sub D in your mesh? Sorry, my English. No worries, Gabriel. So I'm just about to. This is dynamic subdivision right now, but I'm about to turn on Sculptress Pro, and I'm going to merge all these pieces together. But I want to keep the lower eyelids as separate pieces, so I'm actually going to put those into a. I'm doing a split hidden, putting those into a different sub tool. But I want to merge all of these parts together so I can smooth them. And that's what I'm going to do right now. But I want to move these nostrils back just a little bit and make it just a slightly bigger. Okay, so now what I can do is remesh by union. Remesh by union it's kind of like doing a Boolean operation, like a live Boolean operation without doing any Booleans. It combines everything together. So if I go to this gear and then I hit, this is in the gizmo menu. Okay, so gizmo, hit this gear and click on remesh by union, and you'll see that it stitches everything together. See all these stitches? I'm going to turn off dynamic subdivisions, and you can see all these triangles that it made. Basically, these are stitched, and it gets rid of the interior geometry. So it's kind of like doing a Dynamesh without rebuilding your entire mesh. It only rebuilds the areas where there's overlapping geometry, and it will stitch it together. But Now, my next step, what I like to do at this point is I like to turn on Sculptus Pro, which is dynamic topology. Like if you're coming from Blender or something like that. So I'm going to turn symmetry back on, and then I'm going to hold down Shift so this becomes available. This is Sculptus Pro. But then what I like to do is go into stroke and then turn my adaptive size off. And then I like to just test it. See how big that the triangles are? That's too big, and I don't want dynamic subdivisions on. So while holding down Shift, I'm going to let go of Shift so it doesn't snap, and I'm just going to roll this down to about there. That's too much. It keeps turning dynamic subdivisions on. So maybe you're somewhere like this. There we go. Okay. So that is, that's kind of the level that I want. But I want to turn my smoothing power way down because I just want to flood fill these areas with dynamic topology like this. Actually, I'm going to turn my smoothing power up so I can get rid of a lot of these facets. See all these facets now? And then you can just kind of blur these edges, like where the nose. I'm actually going to go just a little bit smaller with this. There we go. And see how it just kind of makes everything smooth and blurs it together. And I'm going to crank this up more. And it's just kind of it's a little therapeutic at this point to do this. Just smooth everything out. And at this point, I also like to use smooth stronger sometimes, because when it gets this dense, sometimes it takes forever to smooth. And on my interface, I have smooth stronger right here. I can just turn that on, and that will smooth it really fast. So if I come up into here and smooth it, you can see it just smooths it really quickly. That's what I'm looking for. And I am smoothing out these details. I'll put them back in. You'll kind of see that in a second. But yeah, this is just kind of a preparation pass just to get my mesh all ready to accept more sculpting, I guess, and at a higher detail. And I'm just trying to look for those facets and just smooth those out. Because, again, you do not want to use dynamic subdivisions or real subdivisions when you have this kind of topology, because subdivision is essentially subdividing, it's dividing your surface by 4. And that will make your machine slow way, way down, and that's not what you want. Does that make sense, Gabriel? As far as that goes? Okay, so I'm going to grab my move brush again and just kind of scoot this in. Same with the nostril. I can kind of just push that in. I use the move brush more than anything, I think. But I'm going to grab this detail brush. And just kind of cut that in, cut this in. Okay, and now what I can do is, like I can start to cut some of these details in, like this. And then I'll come back and build it up. So I'm grabbing the standard brush, BST, I think it is, BST, yeah. So see how his cheek is kind of covering this fold down here? Just want to slowly build that up like this. but not too much. Okay, I'm going to turn the power down. And again, just keep it smooth. And then I want to build up that brow fold back here. And it's just kind of a slow build. I don't want to go crazy with it. Smoothing this down. There we go. And then I can also use this detail brush. So this detail brush is basically a modified Damien standard brush, Dam standard, if you're familiar with that. There we go. That's so funny. Okay. Now I can turn on transparency so I can see through this. I just don't want to have this mustache like interrupt my stroke. I want to draw through it. There we go. And coming off this ear, it kind of starts in front of it. It's pretty close. And then it goes down like this. There we go. All right, it's good. Looks like 60 people watching today. Again, if you're new here, my name's Shane Olson. I've spent a long time in the game industry and some time in the collectibles industry. I'm an old guy. I love sculpting. Okay, BST again, the standard brush. And I just want to kind of add some volume down here. And to this one here. I kind of use the standard brush as a as an inflate brush. Man, this guy is funny. And then we can use pinch, or I call it gather because there's already a pinch brush that ships with ZBrush. I changed all these brushes to have one word. It used to say 3D CW like this, and then you couldn't see the word unless you hovered over it. So I'm experimenting with changing that to see if I like it. But gather, I named it gather because it essentially takes all the geometry and gathers it into a valley or a peak. I don't know if I like that. Let's see. And this started life as a Ma cut brush from Malachus. Malachus the Black is what he used to go by. But yeah, he unfortunately passed away, but we still get to use his brush. His legacy remains. Let me get this weird double neck shape that's happening. It's just funny. And then I want to get his neck just really small. Do you do this as a full-time job? I do. Yep. I have for the last 25 years. I worked for Disney for 10 years. I worked for Sony and Acclaim, Glyphix, Sapphire, a company called Fall Line, Cast AR. I've worked at so many different studios. It's kind of embarrassing, but. All right, I want to pull this brow forward. I also do workshops, like I'll do like short training for companies. So if you work at a company and you want me to do a workshop for your company, please reach out. I have a contact on my contact page on my 3D character workshop page. I've done workshops for like Pixar and Lego, and I'm doing one for Ubisoft next month. Okay, I want to color some, I'm going to add some red, warm him up. I'm going to turn Sculptors Pro off for a second. Just go a little more red, a little more saturated. What's your main job function now? I'm a teacher. I'm an instructor. So but the last freelance I did was collectibles. So I made like four characters that are for collectibles. But I've also done lots of game characters. But I basically teach full time. Hey Andre, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Thank you, sir. I need to try and catch your streams more. So Andre is another streamer on here. He's also a student of mine. Thanks. It feels good to be sculpting again. I took kind of a long break. Let's go. How have you been? One of the first. You were one of the first. Yep, and much appreciated. Yeah, I can't believe, gosh, it's been 8 years since I opened the 3D Character Workshop. I started it in 2017. Is that crazy? Just came back from vacation, trying to get back into it. Nice. Yeah, I think there's over, I should look at the current student count in there. I'm curious. You getting back into sculpting? Yeah, 8 years. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. And it's crazy because I made this course just on a whim to get me from, one studio to the next. So let's see. Three Character Workshop has, where is it? 2,524 students. Oh my gosh. That's just crazy to me. What's your opinion about moving from Blender to ZBrush for sculpting, for 3D printing? My opinion is you should absolutely do it. Absolutely. This is live, welcome. How are you? You're not watching a rerun. AV, also the reason why, well, I'm kind of biased because I love ZBrush, right? But the main reason why is because of live boolean and making your keys with live boolean and ZBrush. That it's just amazing to do it. And I was just showing off my character. I'll show you this, Andre. This is I made Lion-O, and here's all the keys that I did for him. Let me turn on, oops, this. So you can see here's all the keys and the parts and how it's all kind of split. And then I'll show you the render of him. This is what he looks like. Right here. Yeah, so there's the finished. That's what he looks like all finished and put together. I'm going to 3D print him. I want to try and paint him. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is what he looks like. Good old Lion-O, right? With his belly window. I don't know why he has a belly window, but everybody needs a belly window. Oh. Oh, thank you so much. But yeah, this is, so see all these pieces and parts that are like this? I have his file. I've come up with a way to set them all up with live booleans and work non-destructively. So, and then I use my ruler to get it to real world scale. So in the end, when he gets printed, he'll be printed like the characters behind me here. They're about 20 centimeters tall. So thanks, Andre. It means a lot, man. Yeah, so that's, and I recorded, it's a course. So Lion-O is a course. It's like 20 hours long so far. But I walk you through nothing, like starting from scratch all the way to 3D printing and keying and all that stuff. Okay. So let's see, this guy's, I want to do his hair now. I'm going to split this off. Gotta check that out. Nice. So I think, yeah, I think a portion of it is going to be, I'm going to upload it for, it already has a part of it uploaded for the current 3D Character Workshop students up to the blockout. And then I'm going to add, all right, Ian, thanks for hanging out, man. I'm going to add the rest soon, I think. Need to figure that out. Let's see, split on mass points. Thanks for the help. Booleans Blender are a pain. Yeah, they're not great. And it crashes and yeah. But like live Booleans and Blender, they're live. So, I mean, you can kind of do it in Blender but it's not the best. But how you do it in here, I can show you just an example really quick is, essentially you put something in a folder, like Control F, we'll just call this hair. So I just put this clump of hair in a folder like this. And now I can just, well, let's add this key. I'll put a key in here. Let me do just one. Turn this off. That's a positive key. We can turn it around and make it a negative key like this. So now it's like a key going into it, right? And all you have to do is, let's split this. So now see it's a new piece. Click it to subtractive, which is right there, and then turn on live Boolean, and there it is. So let me turn off the head so you can see it right there. And that's it. Easy, easy. Since you did Lion-O, I might have to do Snarf. Do it, man. I have a concept for Chitara, but I don't think, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I don't know if I'll do. Okay, let me delete this. I don't need that. Merhaba? I don't know what that means. But welcome, hello. Looks intuitive. It's very, it's super easy to use. So I keyed all of Lionel, and you can also use shapes to cut other shapes. Like I made like his arm that cuts out his torso, that kind of stuff, and you can just set it up that way. It's really nice and intuitive. Okay. I want to make his nose even more red, just because it's funny. Turn live booleans off, and then I'll do the hair. Some things just kind of catch my eye, and I'll stop for a second and adjust. But I really want this red. There we go. Especially on the ends right here. Let's do it. Stick it on the ear. Okay. So funny. All right, hair. So mustache. Let's apply the dynamic subdivisions. Can turn the lines back on. And then I like to use this carve brush, which started life as an orb crack brush. Do you think AI will replace 3D sculpting? Can we still hope to make a living when AI is evolving so quickly? Are you afraid of that? No, I'm actually not. I feel like it's a tool, just like any other tool. The biggest thing with AI is you can't art direct it. Like you can't tell it what you, if you ask it for something, it'll just give you a whole new thing instead of like fix the thing that you want it to fix. I mean, it does some cool stuff, but I like to think of it more as an idea generator, and then you still need to make it like 3D printable or animation ready or, you know, something like that. Because currently what you're getting is just a pile of points, and it's not usable for really anything. I mean, you can 3D print it, but it's not great. It's just a goob, like a big pile of mess. It's getting better, but I don't ever see it getting good enough to like take over, you know? It might, but I just don't see it. Okay, I'm going to subdivide this really high so I can get enough surface. And also the other part of it is it's not copyrightable. So like studios they just can't use it. I just noticed you have the keys as a brush. Yeah, man, this is my latest brush. So I'm actually going to include this with my newest release of my brushes. So, and then I'll send out an email so you'll know when they're ready. I don't know why this is not smoothing down. That's strange. It's like not doing anything. I don't have Sculptus Pro on. The key has a key. Yeah, this is it has that little notch on the side so you can know the orientation of the thing. Man, I'm still a little boggled by why this is not working. I have it set to add. Let me try and reset the brush here. If your brush is ever behaving in a super weird way, and like for me it's the smooth brush, so I need to hold down shift and then click on this reset current brush, and it should reset it. But man, it's still having issues. I don't know what's going on. Smooth. Let me go back to the regular smooth. Smooth directional. I'm gonna try smooth directional and see if that one, yeah, that's inflate. This smooth isn't working either. No, spotlight projection is off. That's the first thing I checked. Yeah, focal shift. I wonder if I'm, let's change that. No, see, I picked a different smooth brush and it still is not. It's like set to minus. And my Z intensity is crazy high. I really don't know what's going on with it. Just not smoothing. I'm going to save this and then maybe you reboot it. Sarti, so here's the thing. You're watching the official Maxon YouTube channel, or yeah, YouTube channel. So, yeah, and they make ZBrush, right? I'm a volunteer here. I don't work for Maxon. So I'm definitely gonna say ZBrush. Especially for, I gotta say ZBrush for 3D printables because of live Boolean. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't know why smooth is not working. Okay, I'm gonna save this. And then I'm gonna close down ZBrush and start it again, so please bear with me. There's my guy. Okay, let's do Maxon. Okay, thanks for your patience. Sorry, 1 second. I just got to reboot. When in doubt, reboot if you're ever having issues. Okay, so let's load this again. And then I got to load my reference here. So texture import, grab the thing, add him to Spotlight, and there he is. Welcome back, Knight. Okay, let's try it again. When I was on PC, I would just take it to Blender. So my thing right now is I don't know how to pose in ZBrush. You use Andre, do you know if ZBrush iPad has T-Pose Master yet? So you basically use this T-Pose Mesh. It's called T-Pose Master or Pose Master, whatever you want to know, whatever you want to call it. Thanks. Yeah, it's like I posed all of the characters that you see behind me with T-Pose Master. I did not take them out to use rigging or anything like that. I did it all inside of ZBrush. And basically what it does is it takes all of your subtools and collapses them down to one, and then it allows you to transpose master. Yep. It should have it. Should have it. I don't know. Yeah, I could pull it up too, but yes, I do have my own 3D printer. I have a couple. I have a Form 3. Is that not a destructive workflow? It is destructive, yeah. So I usually save off a new file and pose it over there. So like when I was showing Lionel a little earlier, I posed him inside of ZBrush, the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah, and it's just a matter of like masking and then posing it in there. Yep. So, man, my portfolio is so outdated, but I can show you some. So all of these I posed in ZBrush. Let me see. Like this one, that's posed in with T-Pose Master. Same with this one. Yeah, all of them actually. Like this is a difficult pose. Ant-Man, he was posed in ZBrush. Spider-Man, this is a difficult pose. Yeah. Yeah, Venom. He's got some good poses. Yeah. I really need to update this. I have so many more characters, probably 3 times that many. Yeah, you just got to be patient, learn how to do it. Okay, I promise. Let's try this out. Sculpt smoothing. It looks like it had subdivisions on it. What is going on here? It's still not smoothing. Let's see if this smooths. Man, this is like busted. What is going on? Okay. Oh, this is spotlight projection. Okay. Gosh dang it. I was just like, what in the heck? But this one is still not smoothing. There it goes. Okay. That's really strange. Okay. I think it's working now. All right. Formlab's pretty good. Not cheap. I use Elegoo. Elegoo's great too. Yep. I also have a Bamboo Labs FDM printer as well. That's really good for FDM. Okay, carve. Let's get back to business. I think I'm going to turn off symmetry for this because I want it to not be like super symmetrical. I love this carve brush for hair. Love my bamboo. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Mine's still in the box. I got to get it out and get it going. I'm getting this like twist at the bottom here. I'm going to turn down the power. I think I'm getting... Yeah, I like bamboo a lot just because it's kind of a plug and play. You don't have to really mess with it too much for it to work. I'm a fan of it just working. That's why I like the Formlabs printers, because they just work. You don't have to mess around with profiles and all that stuff. It's expensive though, yes. For sure. Hey Andre, when do you stream typically? What's your time? So we can give you a shout out of when people can come watch you. Does it change? Tuesdays at 8 Amsterdam time. What is that time? Oh, convert it to Pacific time, yeah. That's probably easier. Even though I'm only a state away from LA, I still advertise it in Pacific time, just because that's where most people tie it to, you know, because that's where like ZBrush HQ is and stuff. Good old Hollywood. Okay. I'm going to subdivide this up. That's probably good. It's 1 p.m. Pacific time. Okay. Grab this snake hook brush and just kind of pull out a few. Oh, it's too fast. What is it? RGB? Yes, it is. Okay. Like, where's that color coming from? You kind of have to have it more powerful for it to work. There it goes. I'm just making a mess. And I'm making it too even. I need it less even. I always have that problem. Do you have that problem, Andre? Just like my tendency is just to make things all evenly spaced, and I always get into trouble with it. Even if I try and make it more chaotic, it's like my tendency is just to be even. Look at that. Gosh dang it. See how this is all nice and not even? Yeah, it's like I try, and it's just like lays it down even. Let's see if I can do it in the back here. Turn up the power. It kind of helps if I go faster too. Just like draw in some. Just kind of let it overlap and do its natural thing. I'm just making a mess. And then I can, what's nice is I can go like from this angle. It's kind of fun to do this move infinite, and then you turn on AccuCurve, and then you can pull points out like this. Sometimes it works, sometimes not so much. What's the longest time you've spent on a single character sculpt? Ooh, that's a good question. I think one of the most recent ones that I did, because there was a lot of detail to it. I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks. Shane of the Hill People. What's up, Zofo? How you doing? Isn't that from like Saturday Night Live or something? Something of the Hill People. Let me see if I can show you guys the one I just finished. It was this one. Yeah, that's a 3D print of him. Let's see, I did this one too. This one's fun. It's of me, Moses and Harriet Tubman, but they're pretty tall. They're like 20 centimeters tall each. Pretty fun. When I was working for Disney, this one took me probably the longest. Yeah, this one was pretty complicated. He's behind me right here. Printed out pretty big. But yeah, that one I was just showing, this one is the most complex, I think, that I've done recently anyway. Yeah. Okay. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I miss working on them. That was fun. It's been a long time. It's been like 9 years now since I worked there. I'm still like doing Disney Infinity looking figures like Lion-O. I won't let the dream die. Oh, what is it doing? Sometimes when you get to these edges, it wants to like do some weird stuff like that. And you're just gonna have to either redo it or smooth it out or let's see what that looks like with him. Too funny. Yeah, you can still buy it on Steam with all the figures unlocked. So if you still want to play it, it's there available. It doesn't use the figures or the the reader or anything like that, and you can still get the characters like on eBay and stuff. So what I would really do probably with this, if I wasn't live streaming, is I would make all these in separate pieces, like actual hair pieces. Because this is okay, like laying it out this way, but I prefer the look of just separate pieces. So I'll typically block it out like this, just to give myself rhythm and flow, and but then in the end I'll make them separate pieces. Same with these the mustache. I would bring in separate pieces. Okay, so we got about 15 minutes left, I think. Here, let me do... Here's a trick you can do with this too, is like you can cut in like that and it'll make it look like it's growing out of his head, which is kind of a cool thing. Do you also make your own custom designs? I will occasionally, but not too often. I probably should. Okay, I'm gonna give him that little monocle thing. Because it's funny. I'm gonna turn off symmetry for a second. Grab this cylinder. And then split. We tilt it like this. Like this. And then I just want the ring on it, so I'm going to go group by normals, and then hide this, come on. Oh, come on. Jeez. There we go. And then do delete hidden, and then just extrude this out. Not a poly, I want to extrude polygroup all. Like that. Monopoly monocle, yep. There we go. It looks like it's got a little ring right there as well. So let me see if I can use this one. Just scale it way down. And then this will be kind of tricky, but I'm going to use mask circle, mask center circle. Okay, invert. Be like that. Did I do? I wanted to keep it the same thickness. Oh, it is. Okay, great. There's your answer. Transpose Master is on the iPad, so you can use that to pose with. It's under Subtool. There you go. Thanks. I need to try it. I haven't messed with posing on the iPad. Maybe something like that. And then I should have kept the cylinder that I made this ring from, but I didn't. I'll have to draw it out again. Feels a bit weird using the iPad sitting behind a Wacom. Yeah, I know. I actually have this thing called a Sketchboard Pro. It's this big kind of plastic thing that I can put my iPad into. Come to find out, it's actually developed here in Utah by me. But I'll put it in that thing and then I'll lean it up against my Wacom. It's pretty funny. Okay, there's our glass. Looks like I move it just a little bit. I could make it bow out too, like a lens. Yeah, I'll show it to you so you can see it. I think I can switch to this bigger camera. Let me turn off. Hi. There we go. Hold on a second. Yes. See this thing? It's like a sketchboard. It has a handle right here, and the camera, you push the camera through here, and it has a little, like, you push your charger up through here, and this is like a rubber, like a soft rubber, and this is hard plastic, and you can stick your iPad up in there, and then it has these feet, like these 4 feet, and you can just kind of, yeah, Sketchboard Pro. Yep. You put these little feet. This is the first version. They have a new version, but these feet have like little rubber ends on them right here. And so they're pretty soft. They won't hurt the tabletop or anything like that. And then I just set it down on my desk and put it in my lap. And that way it also has a place for the pencil, but then I can like rest my hand like on the side right here while I'm sculpting instead of putting it on the iPad itself. And that way I don't get in the middle of it, you know. So that it works out pretty good. Okay. Let's go back to my circle. I need to move it. It's not centered anymore. Go back to this. All right. All right, you guys. I think I'm gonna end it here. Turn on perspective. And there's my little guy. We'll have to add this feather and stuff to him later. And then he has a full body of armor and stuff, so I might eventually add that. Oh, what is that? What is that mouse character? It's Mars Mouse. So a concept artist named Mars designed it, and I loved it. So I actually modeled it on stream one time. Here, let me grab it. It's pretty big. Let's see, focus. This is a cheese knife. This is, but like his ears all bitten off and stuff. Pretty. I need to paint it. Back of him. Oh. Yeah, put it in the circle. Yeah. Could you guys see it okay? Awesome. Well, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. And as always, this is my custom user interface, my custom brushes, and I give them away for free over on my website. The link's in the description, 3dcharacterworkshop.com. You can go grab them and use them. And I'll be updating it pretty soon, and it's going to have this brand new key brush in there. So, yeah, you can check it out. Anyway, thanks again for hanging out. Happy sculpting, everyone, and we'll hopefully see you all next week. All right, take care. We'll see you then. Bye.